Article 430 covers motors, motor circuits, and controllers. Section 430.152 addresses venting enclosed motors. This section requires ventilation for enclosed motors operating in car wash areas. The purpose of this ventilation is to prevent the accumulation of flammable vapors that may be present due to cleaning agents or other chemicals used in the car wash process. Motors that are not properly ventilated can overheat or create a spark hazard if flammable vapors are present. Adequate ventilation ensures a safer operating environment and reduces the risk of fire or explosion. Section 430.223 provides requirements for electrical equipment installed in areas where high-pressure water or steam cleaning equipment is used. Car washes often utilize high-pressure systems for cleaning vehicles, and this section addresses the specific electrical safety considerations for such equipment. These requirements may include measures to prevent water ingress into electrical enclosures, proper grounding to minimize shock hazards, and the use of appropriately rated components for the environment. Article 527 focuses on grounding and bonding. Section 527.110 specifically covers bonding enclosures. This section mandates the bonding of all electrical equipment enclosures within 6 feet of exposed conductive surfaces that are likely to become energized. This is particularly relevant in car wash areas, where water and conductive surfaces are common. Bonding ensures that all metal parts are at the same electrical potential, reducing the risk of electric shock. By bonding all enclosures and conductive surfaces together, a low impedance path is created for fault currents, which facilitates the operation of overcurrent protective devices such as circuit breakers or fuses, thereby clearing the fault quickly and safely. Article 590 deals with luminaires, also known as fixtures. Section 590.6 addresses fixtures in hazardous classified locations. Car wash areas may, in some cases, be classified as Class 1, Division 2 hazardous locations due to the potential presence of flammable vapors or liquids. This section specifies the types of fixtures that are permitted in such locations. These fixtures are designed to prevent the ignition of flammable substances and are typically explosion-proof or intrinsically safe. The selection of appropriate luminaires is crucial for maintaining a safe and compliant electrical system in a car wash environment. Article 680 focuses on swimming pools, fountains, and similar installations. While this article does not specifically mention car wash areas, Section 680.7, which addresses electrical equipment in or near pools, provides requirements for electrical equipment installed in or near water. These requirements may be applicable to car wash areas due to the presence of water and the potential for electrical hazards. The requirements in this section include measures to prevent ground faults, bonding of metal parts, and the use of ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, to protect personnel from electric shock. The principles outlined in Article 680 can be applied to car wash areas to enhance electrical safety. Article 410.4, which is under wet locations, specifies requirements for electrical equipment installed in wet locations, including vehicle washing areas. Wet locations are defined as areas where water or other liquids may drip, splash, or flow on or against electrical equipment. This section mandates the use of equipment that is specifically designed and rated for wet locations, such as waterproof or watertight enclosures, to prevent water ingress and electrical failures. It also addresses the installation of wiring and other components to minimize the risk of corrosion and electrical hazards. In addition to these specific sections, it is important to consult other relevant articles and sections of the NEC to ensure compliance with all applicable requirements for electrical installations in car wash areas. These may include articles on wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding, and equipment listing and labeling. Understanding and adhering to these requirements is essential for ensuring the safety of personnel and the proper functioning of electrical systems in car wash environments. Firstly, it is important to understand the definition of a wet location as defined by the NEC. A wet location is an area subject to saturation with water or other liquids. This can include areas that are periodically washed, such as car washes. The presence of water introduces several electrical hazards, including the risk of electric shock, corrosion of electrical components, and short circuits. Therefore, the NEC mandates specific requirements for electrical equipment and wiring installed in wet locations to mitigate these hazards. Secondly, when selecting electrical equipment for car wash areas, it is crucial to choose equipment that is specifically listed and labeled for use in wet locations. This equipment is designed and tested to withstand exposure to water and other liquids without compromising its electrical integrity. Enclosures for electrical equipment should be waterproof or watertight to prevent water ingress. Wiring and cables should be suitable for wet locations and installed in a manner that minimizes the risk of water damage. Thirdly, grounding is an essential safety measure in wet locations. All metal parts of electrical equipment should be properly grounded to provide a low impedance path for fault currents. This helps to prevent electric shock hazards and facilitates the operation of overcurrent protective devices. Grounding electrodes should be installed in accordance with the NEC and should be properly connected to the electrical system. Fourthly, ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, are required in wet locations to protect personnel from electric shock. A GFCI is a device that monitors the current flowing through a circuit and detects any imbalance that may indicate a ground fault. If a ground fault is detected, the GFCI quickly interrupts the circuit, preventing electric shock. GFCIs should be installed in all circuits that supply power to electrical equipment in car wash areas. Fifthly, wiring methods in wet locations should be carefully selected and installed to minimize the risk of water damage. Wiring should be installed in conduit or other approved raceways to protect it from physical damage and exposure to water. Conduit fittings should be watertight to prevent water ingress. Cables should be suitable for wet locations and should be properly supported and secured. Sixthly, luminaires, or lighting fixtures, in car wash areas should be specifically designed and rated for wet locations. These fixtures should be waterproof or watertight to prevent water ingress. They should also be constructed of corrosion-resistant materials to withstand exposure to cleaning chemicals and other harsh substances. Luminaires should be installed in a manner that minimizes the risk of physical damage and exposure to water. Seventhly, motors and other rotating equipment in car wash areas should be properly protected from water damage. Motors should be enclosed in waterproof or watertight enclosures to prevent water ingress. They should also be equipped with thermal overload protection to prevent overheating. Rotating equipment should be regularly inspected and maintained to ensure that it is in good working condition. Eighthly, control panels and other electrical enclosures in car wash areas should be located in dry areas whenever possible. If it is not possible to locate enclosures in dry areas, they should be protected from water damage by using waterproof or watertight enclosures and by installing them in a manner that minimizes the risk of water ingress. Ninthly, electrical equipment in car wash areas should be regularly inspected and maintained to ensure that it is in good working condition. Inspections should be conducted by qualified personnel who are familiar with the electrical requirements for wet locations. Any damaged or defective equipment should be repaired or replaced promptly. Tenthly, it is important to train personnel who work in car wash areas about the electrical hazards associated with wet locations and the safety precautions that should be taken. Personnel should be trained to recognize and avoid electrical hazards, to use electrical equipment safely, and to respond appropriately in the event of an electrical emergency. By following these guidelines and adhering to the requirements of the NEC, it is possible to ensure the safety of personnel and the proper functioning of electrical systems in car wash environments. The NEC provides a comprehensive set of requirements for electrical installations in wet locations, including vehicle washing areas. These requirements are designed to mitigate the electrical hazards associated with wet locations and to ensure the safety of personnel and the proper functioning of electrical systems. When designing and installing electrical systems in car wash areas, it is essential to consult the NEC and to follow all applicable requirements. This includes selecting appropriate electrical equipment, grounding all metal parts, installing GFCIs, using appropriate wiring methods, and providing regular inspections and maintenance. By adhering to these requirements, it is possible to create a safe and reliable electrical system for car wash environments. The presence of water and cleaning chemicals in car wash areas creates a challenging environment for electrical systems. However, by understanding the specific requirements of the NEC and by implementing appropriate safety measures, it is possible to ensure that electrical systems in car wash areas are safe and reliable. Regular inspections and maintenance are essential for identifying and addressing any potential electrical hazards. Personnel should be trained to recognize and avoid electrical hazards, and they should be provided with the necessary safety equipment. By working together, it is possible to create a safe and productive work environment in car wash areas.